Welcome to Shrouded Realities. Today we're discussing the Waco Siege. Who's at fault? Did the FBI overstep their grounds? I think so, but we'll get into that in a minute.
The ATF did.
ATF, sure. FBI did, everybody did.
Yeah. Dirty.
What happens
business.
What happens when everybody's crazy in a situation like that?
I was going to say, even Koresh had his hands filthy dirty in this whole thing too. So
yeah, this is the tale of two groups of bad, however many groups there are of bad people, all just being bad with each other.
Yeah.
By the time it's over with.
Everybody's at fault. And
it's like a bad game of chicken.
Yep. And
it is.
80-something people died.
51 days of chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it really was. And then Miss Janet Reno comes in and says, "Burn the place down. Take them out."
Have you ever seen a picture of Janet Reno?
She's pretty.
We need to put it in there.
She's pretty.
She's pretty. She's got me smitten.
Yeah. She's interesting. I'll say that.
Gross.
Yeah.
Let's do a light recap of last episode.
Last episode, we discussed David Koresh, a.k.a. Vernon Howell, and how he became the leader of the Branch Davidians. Davidians. Easy for you to say.
And then splintered off into the Seven Seals.
Splintered off into the Seven Seal cult and thought that the government was going to come kill him.
So
he was right there.
He almost a little prophetic in that, right?
So are the Branch Davidians considered a cult?
Yes, I would consider them.
Okay.
Well, were they following a leader or were they following a teaching?
Mm-hmm.
Where would you land there?
Koresh checks every box for cult
Koresh
leader.
does, yes.
Cult leader.
But the original, let's just say with Benjamin Roden, who branched off from Houtif.
Yeah.
Would you consider him, I would say it was a power grab a little bit for this guy too, but I don't know that I would call their belief necessarily cultish, because their belief wasn't like, oh, you can do all these bad things or whatever.
They was trying to raise the dead and believed in multiple wives, and
that was George Roden, who is the third offshoot of Seventh-day Advent.
So are Seventh-day Adventists cultish?
Yes, I will answer that.
Hey, speaking of, the Cultish podcast just put out a multiple part series of the 7-day Adventists being a cult.
Gotcha.
Well, not saying that that's the litmus test, but
yeah.
If you want to we've already discussed Seventh-day Adventists and their health cultishness of what you can and can't do food-wise and why you can't do it.
I bet they don't have diabetes.
No, they just have their blood's filled with soy, but they don't have any testosterone at all.
No.
They're lacking in that department.
So if we can
sounds very unpleasurable. See what I did there?
If Seventh-day Adventists, if they're close enough to the cultish area, I would say the Branch Davidians probably fall in that group too.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I just kind of wanted us to discuss that a little deeper.
I think the Branch Davidians get thrown into the cult category because they lived on their own in a compound. Yes, they could come and go as they please.
That's like the main.
That's it.
If you've got a compound.
Yeah.
If you're calling it a compound. It's not just like a church.
If you're all living together.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
Compound. Yep.
Compound. Yep. Cult. Eccentric leader that's trying to have all the coitus he wants with whoever he wants.
Probably wear sunglasses.
Coitus.
Wearing sunglasses. What'd you call them? Dahmer glasses?
Yep.
I told you the other day, this dude looks like Anthony Fauci.
He does.
He kind of looks like Anthony Fauci.
If he had flowy hair.
Throw him side by side. Can we throw him side by side? I've never seen David Koresh and Dr. Fauci in the same room at the same time.
Last week it was Garth Brooks, and now it's Fauci.
Well, it was also Billy Ray Cyrus too.
No, I wouldn't let you go there.
No, you wouldn't let me go John Mayer.
That's right. Too far.
Yeah,
John Slayer.
Too far.
That's where we draw the line. But
slow dancing in a burning room.
That's right.
Too soon.
Setting it up.
Too soon.
That's funny. Oh man, I wasn't anticipating it.
Super dark.
That got me. It is funny though. It's been 32 years. I think we can make a slow dancing in a burning room.
Sure. Yeah. We got to point out, we didn't plan this. Again, this is like the third time we've done
just
this
so
on
everybody,
the show.
just for, so y'all know, today is February 28th.
Yep.
the day that we're recording this.
Yep. And February 28th, 1993 was the day that the ATF decided to raid the compound. And
I wouldn't believe us either that we're
No.
not setting this up on
everybody
purpose.
listens going, yo, right.
Yeah, sure.
They'll
okay.
schedule that out last year.
No, if we were really
I
smart,
can't even schedule a week ahead.
No.
if we were really smart, we would have scheduled this to release on the day.
That's true.
We're just not. We're just accidentally happening on.
We're falling into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah,
What was the other one? We got to talk about CIA and ties to the Pearl Harbor. And then we talked about it on
it
Pearl
was
Harbor
FBI,
Day.
wasn't it? It was
Was it
FBI.
FBI?
It was FBI in Pearl Harbor, and there was another one where it was like, oh yeah, that's like next week or tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was really. We keep doing it. It's not on purpose. We promise.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Blind luck. But today I want to talk about we're going to focus on the siege. Just kind of
The siege.
the siege, just kind of the epitome of what happened there. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they're famous for. Not a whole lot of people knew about them until the siege and the media picked it up. And
Well, I mean, they had a bigger following than what I thought. I didn't realize that they had. Somebody said Branch Davidians. Now, I'm not saying it was just in Waco, but Branch
Yeah.
Davidians as a whole was in the hundreds of thousands at one point.
yeah, they were worldwide.
That was a big.
Oh, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
they were
thought that was a
worldwide.
crazy number.
Mhm. He was in Australia and England, and I
Israel.
think Israel went recruiting people, and some
Mhm.
people came back with him.
Playing his sweet music.
In the
So-
compound, there was a ton of people. Yeah, he's
This-
a sweet musician. I got to give him props on that.
Hey,
He can play some guitar.
he can, and he's got a song that's been stuck in my head for 3 days.
Yeah. Where are you living?
In Waco, man.
Madman.
There's-
Living in Waco.
There's a madman living in Waco. If you hadn't listened to it, go listen to it. It'd
Yeah.
be stuck in your head too. It's catchy as crap.
I
Is
Look.
it catchy enough to put you in a compound?
No, I wouldn't have landed myself in a compound because of a cool song, but
Hey, he got some people there.
it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So I wonder
last-
if some people like, he just makes some good music. I'm just live here now. Like, that's
Yeah,
it.
this is pretty chill, dude. He plays guitar.
think
got
la-
some Fauci glasses kicking. He's a
Yep.
pretty cool guy.
What was the guy, David Thibodeau, we talked about last week? That
With his guitar sticks?
With his guitar sticks.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, guitar stick
the
boy.
music got him there.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, he needed a
It's
drummer.
powerful, man. Some frequencies that get you.
Yeah.
Ooh, tying it
Ooh.
together.
Ooh.
Frequency episode, huh?
Mm.
Still want to revisit that one.
So it kind of fits in the timeline to me. And I brought this up to Joey the other day. Why is there so many interviews with David Koresh?
Before,
Yeah, before all this, the siege
Was
happened.
was he pushing himself out? Like,
yeah, he was.
I mean, he may
Really?
have been pushing himself out.
but like people were like, why? Like,
people were coming from Australia to interview this dude.
Mhm.
Mm.
Why?
Yeah. It kind of seemed like he was more famous overseas than he was here.
Hmm.
But how?
I don't know.
How did that? I mean, I understand he went and like hung out in Australia for a week, but why is Australian reporters like, oh, we need to go talk to that guy?
Mhm.
Oi,
Hey,
there's a
I don't
scoy over
get it.
here. He lives in a compound.
Yeah,
I can't do an Australian
that
accent.
was pretty rough. But I don't know why we have interviews of this dude, like not just local radio or local news was reaching out to him, like CBS was coming and doing interviews with him and bigger name people. Why?
Hmm.
And all of this was predated him, you know, the siege happening, of course.
I wonder
But
where this ties in on the timeline of the major cults, like
I was watching of major cults.
yeah, because you got the Jonestown incident, and I think that was 70s or 80s,
That was the 70s.
and then you got
Late 70s, wasn't it?
Let's see what was
Like 77?
Scotty McGrody. What was
Oh, that was after. That was after. That you were in the
Hellbop
2000
comic guy. Yeah.
2000s.
Okay, so this was kind of in the middle. I was just trying to wonder if there was things that led up to
Wait, is
this
that
that was
right?
kind of
They
getting.
would,
them-
and wait, Heaven's Gates had been around for like since like the 80s.
They had been around, but they're
They had-
They didn't get like real refined until the 90s.
yeah. I mean, they'd been around for a while because you had. Granted, this means nothing.
97.
97's when they finished it off.
Mhm.
That's when they ate the
Yes.
applesauce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe
I ate the sauce, saw the boss. You know what I'm saying?
I'm throwing this out. Just thought I just had, but this is what we do on the show. PSYOP. You got Ruby Ridge happened a few months, and then this one after.
Mm-hmm.
I had this thought: if Ruby Ridge never happened, do you think Waco would have happened?
Interesting thought.
That is an
Because-
interesting thought.
Because they
Because
got
ATF are both very strongly connected to both of these
Mhm. and they
Mhm.
looked so bad in Ruby Ridge. Maybe they was using this to try to
as a win.
get a win.
And,
Because
and maybe Koresh wouldn't have went off the rails if he didn't see the government going after people like that.
He was already going. He was
He was
off
already
the rails at that
stockpiling and
point.
going, but
Well,
would it have set him off like a K?
That's a fabrication. Him stockpiling was inventory. It wasn't like they were stockpiling weapons. They were actually a gun.
That's what they said.
Who said?
The Branch Davidians.
I don't know that I agree with that because they were selling weapons.
They were selling weapons.
Not illegally either. They actually had the license to do that.
But they were already preaching for a apocalyptic government's going to come kill us all.
I mean, as every cult does. I mean, every cult has some kind, that's their niche.
So the question
is, if they're already in gun dealings, okay.
They get what's inventory and what's stockpiling.
What's inventory and what's stock. I mean, because they were legally selling weapons. I mean,
so the question is, was it stockpiling to sell, and then they're like, we'll just keep a few for ourselves, or was it we'll keep a few for ourselves and then also sell them to make money?
These guys obviously had money to be maintaining the area that they had. I think they were selling it.
Well, and that's
pretty regular.
And they did have multiple income streams. Yeah. They did the buying and selling weapons, and then they did they had an automotive shop that they were in. So
they were selling meth.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, so
what?
There was a guy that was actually cooking meth on the compound.
What?
And Koresh called the sheriff and said, "Hey, come get this. We're not doing that here."
Really?
Yeah. Probably because it's going to interfere with your
firearms license.
Your firearms license pretty significantly, and that's your main moneymaker. But
one of the interviews I heard yesterday, I was listening. I can't remember who it was, but they said that it was rumored in the compound that he was getting on speed.
Dude, I'm telling you, there is so much fabricated stuff on this.
This was from their people, though.
I don't think that these are their people. I really don't. The ATF was investigating things. First of all, they had no business being a part of. The alcohol, tobacco, and firearms was investigating a meth charge. That's DEA. Why in the world is that there?
Yeah.
And they said they had a FLIR camera and they found hot spots in the place and said, "Oh, there's meth in there." Like, nah.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to know who believe in this one.
Yeah, it's really hard to know who to believe. And I think some of these people are set up by others to be like, "Oh, well, yeah, he was doing meth. Well, he had a bunch of lowers, and even though he didn't have a record of making illegal weapons, those he was going to make illegal for sure." That was a lot of this game that they were playing here.
Yeah.
And the guy that came in and lived on the compound that was ATF. Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, that guy was an idiot.
So what caused them to initially go in to investigate?
Wasn't it the grenade?
Yeah, you're right. It was
the training grenade or the fake grenade.
So
it was a dummy grenade.
So UPS drivers delivering stuff to the business or the compound, and out of one of the boxes rolls a dummy hand grenade.
How convenient is that? Like, it sounds like such like a movie.
You, man, there's a whole bunch of this crap in this where I'm like, this is
like, oops, the box fell apart. Your grenades fell out.
So he calls the local sheriff. Local sheriff brings in ATF. They come in and decide to investigate. So they moved into a house across the street in the disguise of being college students.
All in new cars.
Nice federal agent haircuts.
Yeah.
30-somethings posing as college students.
Yeah.
And then when they sent one of them in to infiltrate, to pretend like he wanted to be part of the cult.
Yeah.
They let him in. Koresh did. And they asked him what his major was. He said philosophy. What school are you going to? Polytechnic school. A school that didn't have any philosophy classes.
I'm going up here to tech.
Going to tech. What are you studying?
The state
philosophy.
School.
Yeah.
So they.
Oh yeah, I'm getting my HVAC license up there.
I got a couple credits to get. Yeah, no biggie.
No big deal.
Supposedly they knew from the start that he was an agent. He was a plant, but they didn't care. They tried.
No, they tried to convert him. They
Yeah.
kept inviting all of them to the his sermons that he would have, which sermons were lasting like 12, 13 hours.
Oof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oof.
Hey, think about that. Think about that when you're in a long sermon and your belly's hungry in the middle of church and you're like, you know what? This isn't going to go 13 hours, I bet.
I heard he told them, like, somebody tried to get up and leave one time and they said they had to go pee. And he said, no, pee yourself. You can't leave this. And kept them there.
Daggone.
Yeah, that's dedication. But that, to me, that adds,
I'm not peeing myself.
That adds credence to the fact that he might have been on something. Like, what anybody
has enough energy to keep rolling.
Preach all night long.
Dude, he was the prophet. What are you talking about? The prophet's got He's got all of
You
that.
need to put an asterisk in front of that.
Yes.
Where's the cult leader checkbox?
Yeah. Nah, he was the
He
prophet.
was the what was it the king King Cyrus?
Yeah.
King Cyrus of Persia. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the reincarnated.
I can't get
version.
over how like random that is.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing.
And I don't understand the theology enough to get why he says that, but then he also says he's the Messiah.
It was
Son of
Billy Ray
God.
Cyrus.
He was-
Is what he.
Achy breaky heart.
Yeah, it's achy breaky heart.
Yeah. But how do you
Ah,
tie those two together? You're either one or the other. How can you be?
the dude's Looney Tunes.
Hey,
Like
they're
let's
all Looney
back up.
Tunes.
Like this dude.
I
is,
know. I'm trying to
yeah.
rationalize.
Yeah, you're trying to make rational thought. I'm talking about Billy Ray Cyrus. I mean, this is Looney Tunes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude's nuts. Is what it boils down to. But I mean, maybe he was on speed. I don't know. I definitely want to cast some doubt in some of these things though, because
Yeah.
I don't know that I fully believe the narrative on either side of it. I really don't.
Yeah, it's hard to know who to believe. I did listen to multiple interviews from ATF, FBI, and surviving members.
Yeah.
What
I
surprised me,
question
though,
so many of all of it because it's like, okay, was this really a surviving member?
But
I don't know.
but dude, the ones I listened to, they bought in hard. Like to this
Sure,
day,
yeah.
even though they seen the guy they said was not going to die is dead, they still believe it. They're like
Yeah.
they're still thinking he's going to resurrect
Heaven's
himself. and
Gate
come
was
back.
the same way.
What's the science
Yeah.
behind that? That's wild.
No, there's no rationalization to it whatsoever. But anyway, so ATF comes in, they investigate for a little while.
Yeah. Had many
They-
chances to get Koresh.
Yeah, that to me that was the biggest screw up on the agencies, all the agencies. That was their biggest screw up by far. Is they could have got the whole thing shut down very peacefully.
Do you think that?
Koresh went off site all the time? They could have just boop, snatched him up. You ain't got your leader anymore. He's in jail. Who
Yeah,
cares?
I mean, he was actually playing shows in a rock band.
Yeah.
For an extended period of time. But if they didn't have the true evidence to do this, I think that this set some things up. It set some stages up. If they didn't have the true evidence, because this guy does have a license to manufacture these guns and build these guns and build ARs.
So they were trying to do it at least somewhat legally.
So they were legally going about the way to do this.
Mhm.
All they had was suspicion of a dummy grenade from a UPS driver.
And I think too, there was suspicion that he was manufacturing, taking part of their big money making scheme was they were taking regular ARs and modifying them to become fully automatic.
That's what they said. They thought that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
They have no history of doing that.
During the shootout, there were
No.
there wasn't
Not from them.
really
No, that was not how that went. There-
interesting.
They had zero history of manufacturing machine gun weapons. All that the ATF is an extension of the IRS. That's all they are.
Yeah,
If you're not paying your taxes on these
you
fake
didn't
guns,
pay your gun tax.
yeah, if you don't pay your gun tax, then they're going to come up with more guns and make sure you pay your taxes. Is what the
Mhm.
ATF is. The ATF sucks. They are garbage. Oh, you didn't pay enough taxes on your tobacco products.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
ATF needs to be eradicated. I hate it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me what you think about them.
They're pretty cool guys. I like them.
Yeah, the whole thing.
ATF is just actually truly fun. That's
we
what
did
I'm
talk.
Yeah, they're fun people.
And we did talk about that last week. Like their laws and rules make zero sense.
Zero
They
sense.
say it's there for public safety, but if
Yeah.
you pay $50, $100, $200, whatever the
Oh, you can do
upgrade
whatever
is you're
you
trying to
want.
do, you can do whatever you want.
Well, as long as you pay $200
Yeah.
a year, you can shoot this automatic rifle.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, but it's for safety.
But it's for your safety. What if you don't have $200? No, can't do it.
Yeah,
You're not safe now.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
So this one's so difficult for me, and I was thinking about it all week long. There's no good guy
No, there is no good guy.
because
There's nobody to root for. in
their
this.
cult did need to get shut down.
Yeah.
They should have pulled Koresh out. He should be in jail right now,
Mhm.
rotting, getting his. Never mind. Yeah.
I know where-
I was going
I know
prison
where you
joke
were
there.
going there.
Yeah, going prison
Mhm.
joke there. But
You're talking some same.
yeah. Little
Some little Debbies.
Somebody calling him Little Debbie.
I mean, that hair,
Yeah.
you made him look cute.
he could be somebody's sweet treat.
yeah.
Right now, holding pockets.
Could be Big Deborah.
Because the main
Big Deb.
The main thing he was taking underage wives.
Yeah.
Multiple.
But it's not the ATF at all. That's not their even.
Yeah.
That's not their game. They don't do that. That's the FBI. If you're doing that.
Yeah. So FBI should have come in pretty quick.
So here's where I was going with that originally is they couldn't find anything on Koresh. So they come in as a unit of a bunch of people and we're going to storm the compound.
Yeah.
Is that why they shot first?
I think so. Yeah. Well, let's
because they'd had nothing.
Let's get to that. February 28th. They decide today's the day we're going to raid them. They were supposed to be taking them by surprise. It was supposed to be completely just sneak in, do their little thing, come in, arrest everybody before they can get to their guns, and it'd be cool. Somehow it got tipped off to the media, which is
a reporter
psyop problem here. So makes me wonder how all this happened.
I think I heard how it got reported to the media.
Yeah,
the media was doing a story on them again.
Okay,
and the ATF reached out because they supposedly reached out to the FBI and said, "Hey, we're about to do this story," and they said, "No, hold this story, don't do it."
Okay.
Well, that speeds the timeline up because the warrant was only good through like March the 3rd or something like that. So that speeds the timeline up because they said, no, this is already going to print. There's nothing we can do about the timeline. So then that means the ATF has to get there quicker.
Okay.
They have to get there before this, whatever they were releasing comes out.
So they had to tell the media, don't come because we're fixing to go blow them up.
They didn't say don't come. They said don't release this article that you're about to release.
Well, then how did it get? So it went there. The way the Davidians got wind that it was going to happen was a guy was coming in and was looking for the compound. He didn't know where it was at.
ATF and the media had already been in communication with one another.
So they knew.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he's trying to find the compound.
He finds
he finds a mailman, says, "Hey, where's this compound at? I got to go report it because they're fixing to do a raid." Mailman just happened to be brother-in-law of David Koresh.
Yes.
What are the odds?
Like, it's actually, imagine me and that guy like,
oh crap.
Oh, let me.
Yes. So he did.
Screw this mail. I'm going.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah. He said, screw this mail. I'm going back. He heads back, says, hey, they're coming.
Yeah.
Everybody got armed to the teeth and ready to go and fired themselves up and ready to fight.
Well, because that's what had been prophesied.
Yeah. They've been prophesying it.
Yeah.
So do you think, I kept hearing the word self-fulfilling prophecy during this. Do you think that
I do.
Do you think he started doing the illegal things? No, and this could be one of the reasons why he let the ATF agent come in, let them know that they were doing illegal things so that his prophecy could come through.
Maybe if he's crazy, he would have he had the confidence that he wouldn't die.
Yeah.
So he didn't really care.
I think it was either that or he knew that he was doing illegal things and that it would naturally come to that anyway. So then he is a prophet regardless. If he's doing things he shouldn't be doing, he knows where it ends up.
Yeah.
So he's going to automatically start saying, well, these things are coming to pass and it's going to be because I am the prophet. And I think he knew that eventually this would come to an end.
Yeah. So anyway, so they come, ATF shows up. They roll in with cattle trailers with tons of ATF agents in it, and they all pile out. But they know, like, they see them coming because they had the drop. They knew what was going on. They knew it was coming. They come in, and from what I understand, there's a lot of discrepancy on what happened and who fired first. ATF says that Davidians fired first. Davidians say ATF fired first. But from what I understand, they shot the dogs as they was coming in.
Yeah.
So if that was the case, ATF did fire first. And then firefight broke out. Lasted for about an hour.
That's a long time.
That's a long time for firefight.
The only reason it stopped, from what I've heard, is because the ATF run out of ammo.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think the Davidians were probably still which they made their own ammo. Yeah. They would go through and pack their own ammo.
Yeah.
So that's why that was another thing that the UPS guy found was black powder.
Okay.
Which, it's not illegal to have black powder.
Or make your own ammo.
Mm-mm. That's not illegal.
No people that do it. But so gunfight or firefight happens. 6 Branch Davidians were killed. A few more injured.
Koresh was shot too.
Koresh was shot twice, once in the arm, once in the hip.
Yep.
side area, kind of like right in here. Killed 4 ATF agents and injured a bunch more of those. And then, like you said, they had to pull back because they ran out of ammo.
Yeah, I think when those agents died and got wounded, that was kind of like the death stamp there.
For that,
For the Davidians, there was you couldn't negotiate your way out of that.
I don't know. They tried to negotiate for 51 days.
Yeah, I mean, like it was never going to end the way Koresh wanted it to.
No.
After the fact.
No, he for sure is dead at that point.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, or at least in prison for the rest of his life.
Right.
And they were in Texas. They would have burned him. He would have fried.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He would have rode the lightning.
You don't. I mean, felt that thunder.
Yeah. So they break in, or the firefight happens. A bunch of people died, and then that started the standoff. They pulled back. They started surveilling them, negotiating with them, cut all the utilities to the building. So
off and on, back again, back and forth.
Yep.
Playing some of the worst sound, which this was the FBI at that point. The FBI was doing a lot of that. That was way later.
Yeah, FBI,
that was way
just
later.
like in Ruby Ridge, FBI come in, try to clean up the place, but ended up making things much worse.
Yeah, but they were like torturing them with things.
Yeah.
They're like cutting their power, cutting their water, playing obnoxious sounds so they couldn't sleep.
Shining bright lights through their windows.
To mess up their sleep pattern. Played
like seal noises and not like seal a kiss from a rose, but like
that'd make kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Yeah.
Play that for 24 hours.
That gets you in some mood right there.
See, that come right.
Yeah. But one of the sounds was the killing of rabbits.
Yeah,
they make
that's a horrible sound.
Yes.
Is that what they play in Guantanamo? I think it is one of those
I
sounds.
thought they played like Britney Spears in Guantanamo.
Yeah, no, I think
extended period.
Yeah. These boots were made for walking from Nancy Sinatra was the song they played over and over. At Waco.
At Waco?
Yeah.
These boots were made for walking?
Yeah, that's what they blasted.
That would be torture.
And in an epic troll move, got to give Koresh credit for this one. He had a pretty ballin' sound system in his place because he was in a band. He started playing his songs out to them when they would stop.
There's a madman living in Waco.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty trollish. I thought that was kind of cool, kind of funny.
Especially when you've been shot in the arm and the hip, and you're like, "Nah, let's be a troll real quick."
We pulled like a Stranger Things, got on top of the roof, and was just like, just cranking out some chords,
just playing some Master of Puppets up at the top,
yeah,
bleeding from multiple places.
Right.
That's my most favorite scene in any movie. That one got me going.
Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppet. Anyway. You want to take a quick break?
ShroudedRealities.com? Yep. You want to talk about that?
Let's talk about ShroudedRealities.com and
tell me about it.
How awesome it is.
It's a pretty cool place to be.
It's only place like it in the world on the internet.
It is. It's the only one with that address for sure.
Or the backgrounds or the merch store that's on it with the stuff that's
But
in
if you go to that address, you can find it. ShroudedRealities.com.
ShroudedRealities.com is a place to find it.
It's a website now.
Mm-hmm. Got some awesome stickers.
Uh-huh.
Got some sticker packs up.
We got new stickers.
New stickers. Go check those out. If you don't want to buy them, just go look at them.
Go look at them. You're going to feel good about it. And you'll feel so good that you'll buy one, I think.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about a sticker is I've never seen somebody look at a sticker and be sad.
No.
At least not stickers like what we are producing.
Yeah, no.
I've never seen a sad person staring at a sticker like that.
Mm-mm.
Have you?
Unless it was a no guns allowed.
Yeah, but those people are... I was talking about a sticker like that, though. Like these right here.
Gotcha.
Can you see those?
Yeah. Zoom in.
Yeah, zoom into that.
I'll zoom in on that.
Make a zoom in noise.
Hey, why don't me and you look at the camera and we'll do this thing? Sticker.
Stop.
Right there.
Stop.
No. Sticker.
Dude.
Stickers.
Y'all did this last week and it took me like 50 minutes to edit.
Sticker.
There goes your weekend.
My weekend's done.
You're welcome.
I'm editing all night long.
Did I hear this crazy thing?
What's that?
That we've got shirts on sale.
We do. They did deal on sale.
There you go.
Yep.
What are they down to?
Full $5 off.
$5 off.
Like 2 tacos at Taco Bell.
I don't know how we're gonna maintain with that.
We're not, because as soon as they sell out, we're gonna buy more and put more shirts up there.
Are we?
We are. That's what's got to happen. We got to get those sold, get them out of our inventory, so that we can get newer, better ones with our newer logos. We got newer
But this
logos.
is the only time they can get these.
Yeah, because we're not getting those again.
We're not getting them ever again.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Limited edition.
So what you're telling me is right now is the time.
It's the only time.
If you don't get one, then you'll never get one.
We already are out of some sizes, so
we're already out.
Yeah, so supplies are limited.
Ooh.
Supplies are
Get
limited.
it while you can,
Better
folks.
get on it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Please do. Hook your boys up. Go check out Patreon.
I thought I said, John, we got one of those?
We got a Patreon?
Yeah.
We got Why'd you go high pitch right there?
Huh?
Yeah, you got all high pitch and excited right there.
Yeah. Because we got a daggone Patreon.
When I get real excited, I talk really high.
Yeah, we got one of those. It's pretty sweet.
It is good. It's not bad.
Can you believe that for $2 a month, you can enjoy something as awesome as shroudrealities.com?
And you get really, really early release access because
stupid early.
We're recording this on February 28th.
So you can be informed before others for $2.
Yep.
And you could sit and talk to other Shrouded Realities listeners in a chat room.
Yep, in a chat room.
Yep. Oh. Just don't talk about making compounds. And
share memes.
If you do that, we're going to yeet you.
Yeah,
you're going to be yeeted. If
your $2 ain't worth that much.
Nah, I'm not. We're not into compounds.
The only compounds I'm into is water.
Yeah,
compound water.
It's a compound, H2.
It is a compound.
H2.
I
guess.
Yeah.
It was a science.
You're too smart for us.
I don't get it.
It was a science joke.
Yahtzee.
I love science jokes. I get them.
Trust the science.
That's right.
Speaking of
trust the science.
Trust the science.
Y'all know that Connor is the science.
I am the science.
He is.
There's another guy
I am
like
made
that.
of molecules.
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Speaking of smart people, how did so many smart people get in these cults?
That is a place I'd like to go because I've never understood it.
I guess we're safe, huh?
Yeah, no, we are safe. We're absolutely safe because we're dumb. We're dumb enough to think or to look at something and go, "That's dumb." I don't do that.
Yeah,
dumb knows dumb.
Dumb sees
real
dumb.
Real knows real.
Yeah,
dumb knows dumb.
Real knows the real. That's how it works.
Yeah, because all the ones that I've seen, they seem pretty smart people.
All of them that we've talked about,
their theology was just mad.
Is it because? And that's something that I've wondered is most of these cults are end times related. Yeah. Everything kind of comes back to this is the end of the world.
Yeah.
And
so
if you follow
fear.
me, if you follow me, I'm going to save you from this panic and this, these struggles.
Our way is the only way.
Yeah, it's the only way to do it.
Maybe smart people are just more scared than dumb people. I don't know.
I mean, you catch anybody in a vulnerable moment. I mean, they're going to...
You tell them, hey, the world's going to end and you're going to burn.
Yeah, I mean, or somebody's... Like David Koresh, they were bullied. They went through a rough time in their life, some of those things. And then they find a place that they can be a group with people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where you fall into it. But I mean, you're talking like doctors, lawyers, all kinds of stuff is in this.
Yeah.
People, college-educated people are in this.
But the guys investigating, man, they didn't understand what they were getting into.
No.
They didn't understand the commitment that these people had to that apocalyptic cause. Every one of them was willing to die. Even the ones that survived said they wish they would have stayed in.
Mm-hmm.
Wish they would have died.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind.
I don't even understand that.
I don't either.
What, is it because the prophecy came true, so then you're in a little bit of regret of like, well, I should have died too?
Well, they felt like, to me, it seemed like they felt like the people that did stay and died were more faithful to the cause than they were. Like they're
they got like
sin,
survivors.
Yeah,
they survivors from that.
Their sin was not 100% fully committing to the prophecy.
Yeah, but then you're feeling guilt for that. They died, and I should have died.
Yeah, they were stronger than me for staying and dying. Is how they felt about it.
I got a question.
Dirty. That's gross.
So we know that they were stockpiling like food and water and stuff. Like they could have lasted a long time without any kind of outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I wonder what the full plan, if they were planning to survive after the end times, or this was the plan all along.
Point. Supposedly was the end time situation. That's why they were stockpiling weapons.
That don't make sense. If it's the end time and the end times when Jesus comes back.
No, they were going to be left. Their group was going to be left.
So they had to defend themselves so that they could be the only ones left on earth.
Well, they were going to bring more souls to Jesus during the end times.
That sounds like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So I wonder if the plan was to last as long as possible or burn out quickly like that.
I don't think
because when it got close, they were like, "This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. We're doing it."
Yeah, I don't think they meant to get in a standoff.
Yeah.
I think they probably, if it was going to play out like they did, they thought they would victoriously fend off, the attack, and they could.
And they kind of did.
They did for the first
AT?
the first wave.
Yeah. So I mean, that bolsters you up at that point.
Oh yeah.
You feel confident from that. I mean,
you feel like that the end times is there.
The end times is there. We've won our first battle. This is how it all starts, but we're in it till the end now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be wholeheartedly, they were just amped up at that point, which some died and they were allowed to go bury their dead and some of that too, which is really weird to me too.
Yeah.
Why would you not, as whatever law enforcement agency you are, why would you not take advantage of that moment?
Yeah. But because they was going after Koresh, they didn't care about the rest of them.
I guess.
So
yeah.
Anyway. And also like throughout the 51 days?
Yep.
Yeah.
Throughout that whole time, Koresh kept going back and forth of surrendering, which is like, it's like, do you really want to surrender if you keep going back and forth?
Yeah, he was supposed to pretty early. I don't remember what day it was, but he was supposed to pretty early. Like, hey, let me preach, send you this tape, put it out on the radio to the world. We'll come out. And then he's like, psych.
Well, they didn't do that.
Just kidding.
Though. They didn't do that, though.
They did. They
did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they put it out to the world?
Yeah, they put it on some radio station that he needed it put out on.
Oh, that was some AM radio station.
That's what he wanted, though. Yeah. And they did go out, and it was proved that it went out. And then he said, no, God told me otherwise. Said I got to wait.
Well, he was caught buying time a few times with a bunch of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They so negotiators did get them to release some children throughout the process. He'd send them out, curiously enough, 2 by 2. I think that was a little
Noah-ish.
Yeah, a little Noah-ish, a little joke on his part. But they got 19 children out. He wouldn't send out his own children, which were like
the majority.
Yeah, it was like 15, 18 something kids of his own sire.
Yeah,
that he was able to release out. Before that, though, before even the ATF got involved, part of the cult stuff, he annulled all marriages in the.
He said it doesn't exist.
Yeah, we hadn't even covered like the crazy stuff, the crazy rules that he had in there.
So he annulled the marriages, so the husbands and wives had to split off, and then guess what happened? He snatched up all the wives.
He's like, hey, you tonight.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, so he had like, I don't remember, it was like 20 something wives. He said he was entitled to up to 114 wives.
Oh,
golly!
So once you hit 114, you're capped.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's
all you can have.
That's tough.
That's all you can have. Reports of the youngest being 10 years old.
Yeah,
that's disgusting. This is where I'm like,
and that's where I get to the point of like, nope, okay, if you want guns, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah,
I really don't care about the guns,
right.
Even a little bit. But kids, out.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
But
so the problem is
ATF has no business in that.
The problem with that is
also
he should have, his demise should have happened. We can agree on that.
Yeah, bad guy.
The way they went about it, and the fact that
government
22 kids had to die, and a bunch of wives, a bunch of women had to die in the process. Yeah. Government screwed that up so bad.
Yes.
So bad. Like
I don't think anybody had to die in that situation.
No, they could have snatched him up real easy.
I think you could have sent a couple of sheriffs.
Oh yeah.
Arrested him.
Oh yeah.
And that would have been the end of it.
They probably could have knocked on the front door.
Yeah, I think that they could have knocked on the front door.
They wouldn't have killed him because they obviously was letting people in and out. They obviously let an agent in, undercover agent in, knowing he's an undercover agent.
Yeah. You could have walked up to the front door, knocked, said, "Hey, we got a warrant for David.
You're under arrest."
You're under arrest, and that'd have been it.
Probably would have took him.
Yeah, I think you would have walked out the door.
Yeah, I don't think they like openly kill agents or
because they didn't have a history of that.
So, no, they don't have a history of it.
Their fear was what they did, which was come guns a-blazing.
Yeah, they said that was their fear, but they shot first to me. I mean, I know there's debate back and forth.
ATF did?
ATF shot first.
Yeah, I believe that too.
I fully believe ATF pulled the trigger, and once they pulled that trigger, it was game.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you come to my house and shoot a gun towards me.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to shoot back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't argue with that. Now, granted.
That was one of Chris's quotes, by the way, in one of his interviews.
Mm-hmm. You come to my house and you shoot, I'm probably going to shoot you back.
Yeah.
And that's a reasonable thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
Same thing happened in Ruby Ridge.
Granted, all of my guns are gone in a boating accident.
Unfortunately.
But yeah,
man.
all of mine are gone.
All my dog ate mine.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. My dog ate mine at the bottom of a lake.
Mhm.
So I don't think there's no way to even find them. If the lake went dry, I don't think you could find it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is really weird because mine happened the exact same way.
Well, we were on the same boat.
That's right. We
Same
were
trip.
together.
We were on the same
together.
boat, and we both said, "You know what? Let's bring all of our firearms.
Every
all
one
of
of
them."
them.
Yeah.
How dumb were we?
Hell,
It was so dumb. It was a really windy day. I took a wake too hard, and there they went.
I do remember that. It was.
Yeah.
You remember the lake?
I do.
I don't.
it was the none of your business.
The lake was somewhere else, in a different place.
What are the odds?
It's weird.
So
What
now
really sucks is
now we're sitting here gunless. That's
I don't
what
even
really
own
sucks.
a gun anymore.
Dang it! God, if only. Anyway,
I don't even have $1 to go buy another one.
Yep.
That's what's so bad.
so they let's see, where are we at in the raid?
We've kind of
They kind of tortured
been a
them a
little
little
bit everywhere.
bit. Yeah, they kind of tortured them a little bit. They
playing the music. That
they
was
came in
messed
with
up.
tanks and started running over their personal stuff. Started running
Like over their cars.
ran over the graves of the bodies they buried.
Oh my
With the
gosh!
tanks. They were like taunting them bad. And that's kind of where one of the big screw ups of the FBI was they had
that was a good one.
it seemed like they had a pretty good negotiation team that was negotiating with them pretty well. I mean, they was able to get 19 kids out.
Yeah,
So they
deal.
did something right. And they were kind of making progress on getting them out. Of course, like Connor said earlier, there was multiple times he said, just kidding.
Yep.
And didn't. So
Sure.
they could have drugged that on for a long, long time. But the hostage the negotiators and the what they call them, the tactical team, they was not communicating whatsoever.
No.
Tactical team were doing crazy things like running over graves and cars and playing loud music and trying to make them crazy, while the hostage
I would be so pissed
negotiation team was trying to be like, hey, we're on your side. Let's work together. Let's resolve this peacefully.
Could you imagine? Just you're sitting in there. You're like, oh, we can't leave because they're outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just outside with tanks running your car.
You feel a rumbling.
Yeah.
In your car, you look outside, it's like, dadgummit.
Yeah.
Just pay that off.
Just paid it off. That Toyota Tercel is done.
Yep. So what was the last day? April 19th was the last day. That was the bad day. Janet Reno says, today's it. We're ending it.
You need to throw a picture of
Guns
Janet
Blazes.
Reno up.
She'll get some pictures.
You need to throw her.
Pretty picture of Janet right there.
Janet Reno, right there.
Right there.
She's a good looking woman.
She's a hottie.
Dadgummit.
She's a hottie. Anyway, she says
Giving you justice.
Yeah. She says it's over. According to the official reports, heavy air quotes.
Yeah.
She didn't get all the she wasn't briefed with all the information. She didn't know that there were
convenient.
kids in there.
It's not been on the
No. She knew that there were kids in there, but they were telling her that abuse was happening actively to the kids.
Okay.
May or may not have been, but
could have been.
Yeah.
He had bullet wounds in his hips, so I doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't think you're just trying to do things you shouldn't be.
Sure, his plans changed when a
Yeah.
bullet pierced him.
You hit me in the hip with a bullet, I'm probably done.
Yeah. So she says today's the day. They go in guns a-blazing, tanks a-blazing. They decide to smoke them out with tear gas.
They drilled holes.
What's CS gas? I kept hearing that. What is CS gas?
I think it's a nerve gas, I think.
Yeah.
So that was the main agent that they used. Supposedly supposed to be non-incendiary. They shoot it through the windows with canisters like you see in the movies, but then they also had tanks with big arms out the front of it with supposedly hoses on it to pump in the gas.
Never seen that before.
Yes, I hadn't either. So they used
it's only domestic. We don't use it in war.
All right. So they literally run the tanks into the building, fill the place up with smoke. The Davidians had gas masks, but they only fit adults. So these babies were
supposedly.
So the babies were huffing this stuff and torturing
these
kids.
It 6 hours.
Yeah, they used 2 days worth of gas in 6 hours.
Supposedly they had a concrete bunker that they all went in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I don't know how that gas worked, or if this was separated out enough that it mattered or not.
Yeah. So
2 days worth of gas is a lot of daggum gas.
That's a lot of gas.
Yeah.
So shortly after that happened, the place catches on fire and burns to the ground. Everybody got out except for I think 6 people. 6 or 8 people was able to get out with some burns. and
6 or
stuff
8
like-
people were able to get out.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they escaped. Escaped the fire. They they escaped the building, but everybody else, all 76,
I think it was
76 people, they got burned alive. They either burned alive or structure collapsed on them, or the post cleanup they were finding skulls with bullet holes in them. So some of them mercy killed themselves.
I think in that situation, that's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trapped by fire,
Burning,
please shoot me in the head.
Burning's a rough way to go.
Yeah, I don't want to live
Yeah.
through burning to death.
So,
What Koresh did too. He had a bullet hole in his head, didn't he?
yeah, from what one of the things I read right before we got on here, the Koresh's main sidekick guy shot Koresh, killed him for him, and then he killed himself. Don't know how they know that, but
Yeah. How do you know?
The bones just speak to you.
Yeah.
You look at it, you're like, I can tell you what happened here.
Yeah.
This is CSI. What is this?
Yeah.
I can tell you how
So
this happened.
One of the big conspiracies in this one is who started the fire. All
Mhm.
right, so you got the tanks that roll in. Some conspiracies say that there were that the tanks wasn't just gas, that they had flamethrowers and
I
something
end
to
up
start the
there.
fire.
That's where I live.
That where you was
I
at?
think that's it.
Okay, so
I think Janet Reno made an order
Yeah.
of today's the last day,
they was
and
They
they
waited
made
hot.
sure that today was the last day.
okay. So
Yeah.
one of the other thoughts was the tank went into the wall and knocked over like lanterns and stuff that they were using because they didn't have any power because they didn't cut the power, and then that's what started the fire.
Yeah, lanterns,
Yep.
old lamps.
Third possibility is they suicided themselves. Koresh gave the order to burn the place down when that started. They did have audio recordings of people saying that.
Yeah.
I was kind of on the fence, and I was kind of on your side up until just a few hours before we come in here to record. I watched an
Mhm.
interview with a guy named Graham Craddock. He was one of the ones that escaped. He lived in Australia. He did time in America for, I think it was like 10 years, and then he was extradited back to Australia. He paid, he did time for his part in the whole thing. But he said, even he said that he heard people say and light it up, burn it down.
Yeah.
One of the voices that he heard could have been Koresh's. So
I do
with-
think
with
it's
his-
kind of.
with his testimony and the audio recordings, I think that's probably more likely.
I think it's convenient that the day that Janet Reno says this is it, we're done with this. That's the day the building burns down, and they knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they are pumping gas in it, I guess. But if you've got gas masks, okay.
Yeah. Kids didn't, and that's a
Yeah,
struggle.
maybe they do or maybe they don't. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it fit. Maybe I don't trust the FBI. I don't trust the ATF to give me the truth of what was going on there. I sure don't trust old beautiful Janet Reno.
Mm-mm.
I mean, she's a good looking woman, but she can't deceive me
With those beautiful
with
eyes.
those beautiful eyes.
Them big dough glasses.
She
Them
could
lying
try.
eyes.
She was close, and she almost had me, but I don't believe her.
What do you think, Connor? You
Golly.
think they said it? You think government said it? You think it was an accident?
I can see both sides. I think if you're already, especially if it's been 51 days of torture and everybody's losing their minds, maybe they had enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the other side of that is like maybe they also had enough and just wanted to end it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Could you imagine being working it, like your job was, being part of the FBI, and you're 51 days in, calling your wife every day? No, I'm still here. Sorry, still here.
Still here.
What's going on? Nothing. We're sitting here playing music.
Playing
Sounds-
cards.
Yeah.
It's not just music they played. They were playing like seal noises
Yeah.
and dolphin sounds and cats screaming. I mean, it was awful. Could you, if you're the FBI agent, you're going just as tortured as they are
Yeah.
at that point
Yeah.
because they're playing this over huge speakers.
Did you ever get a number on how much that cost?
That operation?
The whole operation.
I bet it's
Oh,
insane.
golly, probably tens of millions. Gotta
Yeah.
be.
Paying hundreds of people to just stand around and
Yeah.
talk to this guy and just wait.
Yeah, your tax dollars, Doge would not stand for it.
You think Elon would be good?
Elon would be like, nah, we'll figure something else out.
Yeah, pull
this ain't gonna
everybody
hit.
out and
This ain't it.
Yeah. send Trump in. He
Yeah.
can negotiate it.
Send-
He-
Where's
Hey,
Elon?
this is the best compound I've ever seen.
Just come on out.
Come on, Koresh. Just come on out, and we're just gonna have a little chat.
We're just gonna talk. I wrote this book. I don't know if you've read it.
It's The Art of the Deal.
The Art of the Deal. It's great. It's a great book. It's a great book
solid
about
book.
deals.
I give everyone one book.
If you read the book Art of the Deal, this would have been over in
This would have been already been over day one.
Day one, I guarantee.
Some people say it's a perfect book. It's a beautiful book.
It's a beautiful book.
It's a beautiful book.
You need a wall there.
Put a wall up.
Yeah, put a wall up. Keep the ATF out. No problem. I'm shutting ATF down, by the way.
ATF, so much waste. So much waste.
It's
just awful.
It's just awful. We're awful. We're awful. We're sitting here making Trump stuff over it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So, anyway. Got anything else to add?
That's
it. Man. We don't, I do want to say, probably should have said this first minute. Like, we don't recommend going out and fighting the government.
No, it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
You're probably going to lose every time.
And as bad as this is, we don't condone violence of any sort against anybody. So,
yes. If you're the government or if you're a dude running a compound, no violence.
Kind of foreshadowing next week's episode. We're going to hit
for sure
what spawned out of this, which was the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yes.
So we'll make the ties together and we'll talk about what happened there. So,
hey,
that's it.
It's a series.
Connor, Steven, Joey, and Ruby the podcast, y'all. Thanks for listening.